and welcome to another lesson. Today we're going to talk about something that we do in our daily life, and we're going to see how can we use it while planning a business organization. So today the chapter is chapter 9, internal and external communication. Now when we first read about this topic, what comes to our mind is what is communication and why do we need to communicate in a business? So like in our daily life, we like to communicate, we like to chat with our friends, we communicate with our teachers, with people around us, and we get to know about information, we pass on some information. This is what exactly happens in every business. When a business does not communicate with the people it employs, nobody will know what the business is working upon or what are the processes of the business, and hence there will be no efficiency in production, everything will be delayed, there will be misunderstandings, there will be miscommunication, information won't reach people at the right time, and hence no action will be taken upon a problem. So every process is going to slow down, and there will be a lot of problems in the smooth functioning of the business. So now, what does effective or efficiency in communication mean? Efficiency in communication is when an information is sent by the sender, it is understood, if necessary acted upon, and responded upon by the receiver of the information. Now there are two types of communication that happens in an organization. There is an internal communication and then there is an external communication. As the name suggests, internal communication is when the people in the business organization communicate with each other. That is, there are many hierarchies in a business organization and there are many levels of management, right? Like we learned in chapter 7 about it. So when there is a communication between these levels of management or the hierarchies, this is called the internal communication. The employees communicate with each other. Now, external communication is when there is communication by the business with some other person or some other organization who is not part of the original business. That is, communicating with the customers, communicating with the suppliers. Now, if there is no external communication or there is no effective external communication to be specific, there will be a lot of problems in the business because the suppliers do not get the correct information about the list of materials required at the right time. There will be no supplies of raw materials, production will be delayed, sales will be delayed. The business will be making losses. When talking about customers, if there is no proper external communication with them, it will be difficult for the business to get any feedbacks upon their market research or for their products. No improvisation there. It will be difficult to make customer relationships because you don't interact with them to know their preferences, changes in their demand, and you won't be able to catch up to their choices. Hence, the reputation and the brand image of a business will come at stake due to this inefficiency in communication with the customers. Next, what we're going to talk about is how does this communication process flow. So there is a transmitter. Transmitter is also known as sender in common language. So this transmitter is responsible for sending the information that has to be reached to the receiver. Now how does this transmitter send the information? It is through a medium of communication. Now there are many medium of communications that can be used, which we will be talking about in detail as we move ahead. For now, it is just the method that we use to communicate through. Next, we are going to talk about the receiver. Receiver is the person who finally receives the message through the medium of communication that is used by the sender. Now, this receiver gets the message. He or she is supposed to either give a feedback if necessary, or has to act upon that message, and for which he or she needs to understand that message. And when all of these processes come together and effective communication is established in a business organization. So let's now talk about the type of methods that you can use to communicate in a business. So first we're going to talk about what is verbal communication. So now this verbal communication is basically, as the name suggests, when the sender of the message is using verbal method, that is by speaking to the receivers of the message. This can be done through meetings, through telephone calls, to video conferences and many other ways. So what are the basic advantages of using this verbal communication? Very simple to understand. The advantage one is this, that it is impossible to get immediate feedbacks from the receivers because they are listening to you, they are present with you at the same time. So you can easily get instant feedbacks and know if the receiver has actually understood the message or not. The second advantage here is that it is easier when you have to speak to a number of people at the same time, because everyone can be collected together and the message can be delivered to all. Also, there is only one person now who is speaking and who is delivering the message to a many number of people. Hence, it is possible to avoid any errors in the communication, as information is not flowing down to many people and then it is reaching to the receiver. It is happening very directly. So mistakes can be avoided. Now the disadvantage is this, that it is very difficult to tell if the person who is listening to you has actually understood the message correctly or no, until and unless the feedback is asked for. It is also possible that this kind of communication fails when a message particularly has a lot of details in it, like there's statistics, there's graphs, and it is difficult to understand when a speaker is just speaking about it. Also, it is not possible to have a written evidence that can be referred to in the future because of this kind of communication. However, there is one more advantage that is very important here, that is, it is possible to understand the message much more better. So the next thing that we're going to talk about are the barriers of communication. So the first is the problems that happens with the sender. The sender might use a language that is not understood by the receiver, or might speak too quickly or not be clear while telling the message, and hence there will be inefficiency in communication. The solution is using an official language that is understood by everyone in the organization, and getting feedback from the receiver or asking questions about the information to make sure he or she has understood the message correctly. The next problem is with the method of communication used. Here there might be a wrong method of communication selected, or the message might be lost while being delivered. To avoid all of this, it is necessary to ensure that some criteria are considered before a method is selected, which include the speed by which the message has to be delivered, the accuracy, the need of having a physical evidence of the message, the need of getting a feedback to the message, and some more that are going to be discussed by each and every organization on their own. The next problem is with the receiver. The receiver might not pay attention to the message or might not want to work towards it, and hence will ignore it. Hence, to avoid all of this, the sender has to emphasize on the importance of the message that is being delivered and has to get a feedback through direct communication. This way, efficiency can be maintained in an organization, and that is it for the chapter. Thank you.